Hey guys, welcome to Highly Strange Days. I'm Amy.
And I'm Shannon.
Carefully strumming this old guitar, words rolling out into the fire. Never ask why my heart burned blue. Here in the haze where you inspire me. Here in the darkness I hear my cue. Time to find some solitude. Here where my soul bleeds openly, deep in the heart of sin and you. Here in the blue, I'm falling deep into you. Here in the blue, I'm dancing with you tonight, and it feels fine.
Hi everyone. Sorry, I got an itchy trigger finger and I accidentally did the intro before I did my intro to the intro to the intro to the intro of the intro. Well, we've had a lot of things come up right at the end. So we were going to do the Wildwood Asylum, Haunted Asylum, but tonight those people couldn't make it, those guests. So instead, we're going to flop it back to last week when we were going to do the Tarot Queens. So step right up, ladies and gentlemen, and prepare to be transported into the enchanted and mysterious realm of the tarot. What lies beyond the Queen of Cups, Wands, Swords, or Pentacles? Could it be a hidden truth waiting to be revealed, or perhaps your next major breakthrough? On this episode of Highly Strange Days, we lavish the Tarot Queens with the royal treatment that they deserve. These captivating figures are not just beautiful faces, they are infused with profound wisdom and feminine power. And they are eager to share these insights with you. So grab your favorite way to elevate, settle in, and let's delve into the insights they have in store for you. This is where I would normally say, grab your favorite whatever. I'm going to roll some credits, but we already rolled the credits, so we're not going to do that. But I see that I think Shannon is back. She left and now she's back, and I'm just going to call my co-host right back onto the air with me. Hopefully she's here. Hi, Shannon.
Hi, Amy. Sorry about that. I wasn't getting sound, so I had to try a few times before I could get in.
Oh, it's okay.
But I'm here now, and I can hear.
Yay!
Yay!
So, how are you doing tonight?
I just woke up about a half hour ago from a nap. It was a really good, well-earned nap.
Oh, wow.
I just don't sleep well. I don't sleep well anymore. So, if I get a good nap in that's, a couple hours long, it's always good.
Yeah, I don't sleep well either. So,
really?
Yeah, I just let myself sleep when I can, like I do, like what you do. I like all day. I've been up since 4 a.m. and I just want to go to bed, but I can't. So,
oh no.
Yeah.
Well, maybe after the show you can get some sleep in.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure. There's plenty of time to sleep. That's what I've learned.
You could sleep when you're dead.
Yeah. And I was dead for about 10 years, so
oh goodness.
I'm good with being back alive. So, but we were going to go to New York and talk about the Wildwood Asylum, but they actually are not feeling well. And all last week, I didn't feel well. My stomach was really upset last week. So we rescheduled them for this upcoming Sunday. And then we pulled last Sunday off that I was starting not to feel good that day. And we're going to do the queens.
Yeah, I'm kind of excited about that. I have my Alice in Wonderland tarot deck next to me now. I have pulled out the queens just so I can see, because in my Alice in Wonderland deck, um, it feels to me like the cards speak to me based on their illustration, because the illustrations are based on the original Tennille drawings from Alice in Wonderland. Um, and so I don't know, they speak to me on a different level.
Yeah. I don't have a tarot card. I don't have a tarot deck right now. Or else I would, I was going, I wish I did, because I would have done a few readings for people, like pulled, like if somebody wanted to find out, like, am I a queen? Which queen am I? Am I the sword, the cup, the pentacle, the rod? I thought that would have been fun, but maybe you could do it since you have it beside you. If anyone wants to come in chat and they're like, hey, I'm not really sure who I represent right now.
That would be fun. Do you want to just do the 4 queens, or do you want me to throw in the high priestess?
Well, since we're just doing the queens today, let's just do the queens.
Okay.
And then we'll do another one where we talk about the women, of all the women in the tarot deck. But
Cool.
right now we're just gonna do the 4 queens. Let me get my screen together. We have a few things that we can read. I've got some videos we can watch. This is a really good, well, I've got like 4 articles, 4 videos. Do you want to do an actual article, or do you want to do where because on Quora, we have where it just breaks them down, like the Queen of Wands, like element fire, Queen of Cups, element water, or we have an actual article that we can pull up and read. Tarot court card meanings in depth, the queens.
Well, let's start out with the article and see where that takes us. And if we need more information, we can then delve into the quorum.
Okay. All right. Do you want to read? Do you want to start out reading?
I sure can. Yeah.
Okay. Awesome.
Okay. One of the most common challenges for those learning tarot is understanding the court cards. Do they mean people, events, personalities, the querent, someone else? And does a queen really have to be a woman? And a page, a blonde-haired, blue-eyed person under the age of 25. In this blog series, I focus on each of the court cards, the pages, knights, queens, and kings of the tarot, to help you understand how you can interpret these tarot cards in your readings. This builds off my post, How to Read the Court Cards Like an Expert, to help other tarot students learn more about these tricky cards. If you haven't already read this post, please do. We've looked at the page court cards and the knight court cards. Today we look at the queens. Okay, so the tarot card meanings of the queens. As people, queens represent someone who is matured and who has a deeper understanding of herself and others. The queens tap into the feminine energy of nurturing and caring for others, and give way to creating a more sustainable approach to life. She provides nourishment and sustenance that will keep her ideas and actions going. Queens typically express their suits from the inside. They have mastered the power of gentle persuasion, setting the tone without imposing their point of view. It reminds me of the saying, behind every great man there is a great woman. She gently and subtly influences without being seen to be too pushy or domineering. In this way, queens can be seen as the most powerful because they influence without anyone really knowing. How do you feel about that? What they're saying?
Sorry, I was in the.
Okay. I kind of bristle at it.
It reminds
Um,
me of.
that
Oh, behind every
we're
great man, there's a great woman. Yeah.
well, yeah, and that we gently and subtly, she gently and subtly influences without being seen too pushy or domineering. Fuck that. Be pushy, be domineering.
Yep. I think that they're saying in general, like what the feminine aspect is and what the masculine, because a feminine aspect doesn't even have to be like a woman. You know what I mean? It just can be the feminine aspect of what feminine is supposed to be. And everything's always overplayed in these type of things. So, I mean, I can get it. I understand it both ways. But I think they're saying like what a feminine aspect typically is supposed to represent, not necessarily what it is. Does that
Okay,
make
all
sense?
right. Yeah, it does. It does. Especially considering that, the tarot came about, thousands of years ago when that was how they viewed feminine
Mhm.
energy.
Mhm.
So I guess it's basically the historical definition. So
Mhm.
I'll stop kvetching. Okay, on a physical level, queens often represent people aged between 30 and 50 who have a good amount of life experience under the belt. Queens typically represent women, but can also highlight the more feminine qualities of a man. As events, queens represent creativity and ideas coming to fruition, or maturation is what they talked about earlier.
Mhm.
Queens also are very feminine and nurturing cards, reflecting the rites of passage for women from embracing sexuality to motherhood and to taking care of others. That's okay. The
Mhm.
Queen of Cups. Um, the Queen of Cups is nurturing, caring, compassionate, and sensitive. She is a good wife and loving mother as she is emotionally secure and can connect on an emotional level with others. She is admired for her fairness and honesty and is warm hearted, often a healer, counselor, or psychic. This is a woman who seems to know what is wrong even before you open your mouth. She seems to have exactly the right solution to problems relating to relationships, emotions, and feelings. She easily tunes into what you are feeling and is able to help you make sense of it in a sensitive and compassionate manner. As such, her intuition is very strong, and she has a unique talent at being able to pick up on emotional energy. Now, in my deck, that is the Queen of Hats.
The Queen of
Hats.
Hats.
Hats are cups. So like
What
the
deck do you have? I'm sorry. Tell me the. I'll pull it up. What is it?
Alice in Wonderland. It's the box itself is yellow. US Game System is the maker.
Okay.
Yeah. I was going to take pictures of these once I realized what was going on today. And I was having difficulties with the sound and I was having to worry about that instead. So I'm sorry.
Oh, it's
Um,
okay. Um,
but
I'm sure
um,
I can find them.
yeah. So Queen of Hats, like the Mad Hatter's hat, that's what they're showing. Um,
Is this
and
what it looks like? Your Queen of.
yes. Do they show all of them?
I don't think so. Let me see if I can pull up the Queen of Cups on.
Would it help if I really, really, really quickly took a picture of it and sent it to you?
No,
Oh, okay.
no, because by the time you did all that, I would have had it pulled up. Is it? Does she have a red dress on?
No, that would be the Queen of Flamingos. Um, this is the Queen of Hats, who is the white chess piece queen. So she's, unkempt. Her hair is a mess. Remember, she loses her hairbrush in her hair and can't find it. She's She was played by Carol Channing, if that tells you anything, at one point in the movies. She's
Is
just a
this
mess.
her? Well, you know what? I'm just gonna pull up a general Queen of Cups. So just keep going.
Okay, all right, that's fine. Let me look up real quick what my Queen of Cups or what mine says in the little book thing. Okay. I'm wondering if it's the same description in every book, except for the fact that it says Queen of Hats. But it just means a warm and loving person, absent-minded, but with unique vision, a good parent or friend, a sought-after advisor, practical, honest, and happy, poetic, and loved. So yeah, that's absolutely the white chess piece queen from Alice in Wonderland. She
Hold
was
on
very
a second.
kind.
My browser stopped. My browser lost connection. I've got to remove it and then put it back up. Sorry.
Oh, okay. All right. You want me to keep talking?
No, because I want to share what I just had up on the screen. But yeah,
Oh,
go keep talking until I get it back up.
okay. All right. So yeah, if you remember the white queen chess piece, she comes onto the scene. She's being blown on, I believe, by the wind, and she doesn't know which end is up, basically. But she is very sweet, very kind, and she makes a good impression on Alice.
Okay, here we have here is a description of the Queen of Cups. I'm sure she's talking about the waiter. It looks like she's got the waiter
Mm-hmm.
deck, but let's hear what she has to say about the Queen of Cups.
Hey, it's
Okay.
Anna. Time for a new tarot story this week. We start with the Monday card, and for that we have the Queen of Cups. So the Queen is the expansive principle of the court card. She's the part of the court that expands energy, makes it more hospitable, broadens its impact on the world. Heart cups are connected to the heart, so they're about following your intuitive wisdom, emotional fulfillment, and connecting with other people. So this queen sits at the seashore. Her feet are almost in the water. she's kind of welcoming people to come to her. She's got her cup raised up. The water is connected to intuition. So she's inviting people who are on the flow of their intuition to come to her. And in the flow of intuition, we are often in the astral plane. It's what we call the astral plane, where it's the emotional plane, where we're feeling things which may or may not seem to make logical sense, right? So she welcomes all that experience to her. And she especially welcomes us when we are feeling overwrought, confused, and in turmoil. And it's because she has the heart of a healer. The Queen of Cups is really, I think, the quintessential healer in probably the whole tarot deck. And that is because she knows how to take emotional rawness that doesn't have necessarily any logical connection and kind of distill it, bring it to a place of love and kindness and compassion, and alchemize it into precious jewels.
I've always heard that.
And that's what we see at her feet.
I've always heard that about the Queen of Cups. She's the queen of intuition.
I have not heard that, but I don't have a lot of experience with the tarot.
Oh, okay. Well, I've always just heard that she's the one that, has to do with your intuition.
That's awesome. I love that.
And so here you left off the Queen of Cups.
Okay. The Queen of Cups symbolizes achievements made possible by the use of imagination and creativity. This is a woman who is highly imaginative and artistically gifted, affectionate and romantic in outlook. She is often involved in creative or literary pursuits and enjoys art, good music, literature, and things of beauty. Therefore, you may be more inclined to pursue creative projects, particularly if it acts as a form of self-expression. I like that.
I do too.
That doesn't sound anything like what my card says, but it's very good. It actually kind of sounds a lot like me.
Yeah, it does actually.
All right, the Queen of Pentacles. The Queen of Pentacles is a very motherly card, expressing practical energy. She is the original Earth Mother. She shows her love for others by cooking, cleaning, keeping a warm and inviting home, and bringing in a decent income to support the family financially. She is also able to work a full-time job, take care of the children, keep the house cleaned, and still have time to read the business section of the newspaper. She probably has her very own bank account or investment portfolio that nobody else knows about. She strives to create a warm and secure environment for her family and loved ones and gives love and support freely. The Queen of Pentacles suggests that it is important to you that you are able to live independently with a stable income and with enough time and space to also nurture your family and loved ones. You may be trying to create a better balance between your home and work lives, giving it all giving it your all in both domains and trying not to compensate one for the other. At the same time, you're also able to find time to invest in yourself and ensure that you have enough me time in between all of your other commitments.
I know that pentacles have to do with money. The pentacles I just always associate with the money.
Yes.
And they're the slower moving ones. If you get pentacles, it means stuff's moving slow.
I did not know that it meant that it was slower, but it does make sense that it's with money. In my deck, it's the Queen of Oysters because of the walrus and the carpenter poem, and it's represented by the Duchess, the woman that holds the pig baby. And she was she really wasn't all that nurturing towards it, but she represents the Madonna basically with the child, holding the child and nurturing it, I guess. I guess she's the most nurturing character in the whole story. So yeah, that makes sense.
I guess. Here we have Winter Druid. She's talking a little bit about the Queen of Pentacles. Let's pop over to see what she has to say about the Queen of Pentacles.
Okay.
Let's talk about the Queen of Pentacles, or the Queen of Crystals in the Star Child Tarot. So the Queen energy, she is all about prosperity. She is all about balance. Her energy feels very calm and centered. The Pentacles card is all about like earth energy, right? So she feels very grounded. She feels very loving. And one of the first things that I see in my mind is someone who creates a very loving and happy and stable home. So if you were to go into her home at Christmas, you would find it is lavishly decorated with all the most beautiful Christmassy things. Maybe there's the smell of a stew or bread in the oven. Maybe there are candles that are lit. It's a very sort of like warm, nurturing, sort of happy atmosphere. So the Queen of Crystals, or the Queen of Pentacles, or the Queen of Discs is all about creating that stable, loving family home life. So she is such a good mom. She's such a good mom, right? So she is the mom who always has your kids' lunches ready, right? She provides a very stable sort of home life for them. She knows when all of their practices are. She has them like on a spreadsheet, or they're like programmed in the calendar of her phone, right? She's the type of mom who she really does things because they're practical, right? Like she'll buy a bench, for if she has several kids, for them, like all put their shoes in and have them lined up and have all their jackets up there, like in the mudroom, because that's more practical than having the kids come in and having them to have nowhere to put their stuff, right? So she would do things like that. This is the same type of person that she's all about balance, stability, and practicality. So she would think about, how do I make things more stable, more, how can I feel more nurtured in my environment? That's the feeling I'm trying to think of. So, this is the type of person who would have
a lot of influencers these days are trying to go for the Queen of Pentacle type of vibe.
Because they feel the world needs to be mothered, and
they want to show the world their home and the way that they're taking care of it. And yeah,
that's not me.
It's not me either. I'm not that. I'm not the Queen of Pentacles either. Actually, interestingly enough, I've been the Queen of Swords a lot lately. She keeps
really
up in mine. Yeah.
Do you want to read that one, or do you want me to read it still?
Oh, you can read the Queen of Swords. Yeah.
Okay. The Queen of Swords is a sign that you need to be independent in thought and judgment. You must use your unbiased intelligence in order to make a judgment of a particular situation, drawing upon every piece of information and fact that you have gathered along the way. Empathy or compassion towards others may distract you from the task at hand, so it is important that you think with your head and not with your heart at this particular time. Do not let emotion get in the way. Rather, use fact and logic to make your decisions. The Queen of Swords also has an innate ability to tell it like it is. She is a quick thinker and highly perceptive, and as such, she can cut through the noise and confusion to get straight to the point. There is certainly no beating around the bush or softening of her comments, opinions, and thoughts. She is upfront and honest about her opinions and expects the same from others. The best way to interact with the Queen of Swords, therefore, is to remain as impartial as possible and to present your thoughts and opinions concisely and honestly. I can see that. I can see that you would be linked to that.
Yeah.
You
Yeah, it's very hard for me not to be a blunt person. Like I work on softening my blows because I don't like to dance around words.
Yeah, I'm the same way when it comes to that. I'm not quick enough to dance around words. So for me, when I'm blunt and tell it like it is, it's just because I'm just saying what's in my head. I'm not skilled enough to make up shit and make it nicer.
Yeah, I wish I were. Maybe I'm better at it than I used to be. I think I'm better at it than I used to be, but I'm still kind of bad at it.
Mhm.
But here back over with the Brinth, she has the Queen of Swords, and let's hear what she has to say.
Okay.
Hey everybody, it's Anna. Welcome to a new tarot story. This week we start with the Tuesday card, and for that we have the Queen of Swords. So the swords are connected to the mind. They're about ideas, beliefs, mindsets, expectations, strategies. And the queen is the expansive principle of the court card. So she takes her energy and her suit and broadens it, makes a larger impact with it. So this queen sits on her throne, one hand raised in welcome, the other ready with the sword. And that is because her job is to chop us free of old ideas, of old entanglements that are getting in the way. So this energy is very loving, very helpful, but not very snuggly. She's not emotional. She's not out for your comfort. She is out to get you free. It's a very practical energy. And I think pragmatism is actually the key sign of a healthy mind, and a flexible mind. The mind can either be your mind can either have a tendency towards judgment or towards discernment. Judgment is where we've decided things are black and white. We've got categories and we just sort of slide people or events or experiences into those categories. Is this good? Is it bad? Is this right? Is this wrong? And it doesn't require a lot of engagement. It's just an easy kind of quick script for making sense of things. That is judgment. That is a mind that is a little bit inflexible. It's not really engaging what's in front of it. It's already made its decision before you show up, right? Now, discernment is a more of a flexible energy in the mind. It's basically taking an experience and saying, yeah, let's weigh it. Let's ask questions. Let's investigate a little. And the reason we're investigating is we're trying to decide, is this working for us or is it not? Which is, again, not about right or wrong, which is sort of judgment. It's more about practicalities. Is this getting me where I want to go, or is this getting in my way, right? And so this queen, when she's upright and she's in good space, she is about discernment. She's looking at what we're trying to accomplish and discerning what is supporting that, what is getting in the way, and maybe what is neutral. And her job is to kind of excise from us anything that's getting in our way. And so this reminds me a little of the Seven of Swords. So the same kind of energy of discernment in the Seven of Swords. Like you're kind of going through your mindsets, figuring out what beliefs are sort of prominent and deciding if they work or not. Not based on whether you were told it's the right thing, you were told it's virtuous, that's judgment, but rather, what am I here to do? Is this getting me there? So the Queen of Swords is a very helpful card, I think, when she shows up. It tells us, as the beginning card here, it's telling us, don't try to move out of emotions. Try not to let that run right now. Instead, ask very clear, concise questions. What are you trying to accomplish?
So I feel like when we talk about each aspect, it's very cut and dry. Like this is what this queen represents. This is what this queen represents, and they never interlap. But I mean, and we all interlap, right? So
Oh yeah, you
the
can almost find little bits and pieces about each one.
yes,
Yeah,
yes.
definitely. Now are you okay? In my deck, the suit of flamingos
Mhm.
corresponds to the suit of swords. And it basically, I have been in this place. I am not currently there, but sorrow, often widowhood, intelligence with knowledge of the darker side of the world, one who has gone from happiness to failure.
Mhm.
That's what it talks about in my book. But I do remember that the red, mine is represented by the red chess queen, who she meets in the Looking Glass there too, in the chess world. And yeah, that character is very well. You got to do this. Just thinking with her head and not with her emotions. So
Mhm.
honestly see that that goes well with the depiction.
Mhm. Okay, so our final queen that we have is the Queen of Wands.
Yay! The Queen of Wands is the dominant feminine energy of the element of fire. She's not afraid to demonstrate her power to others, nor does she shy away from a challenge. She is therefore a strong leader who is focused on her desires, intending to get what she wants. Thus, the Queen of Wands indicates that you are strong, independent, and able to take care of yourself and sustain your own creative vision, even in the face of adversity. You know what you want and how to get it, and you are masterful at engaging with others to achieve your goals. You are talented at staying fiercely determined and focused on your own goals whilst being friendly and optimistic with those around you. The Queen of Wands asks you to be bold and courageous in your undertakings and actions. Your creative energies are high and you have a good sense of your life direction. You are highly optimistic, confident, and full of ideas that you are ready to implement and share with others. You have an ability to express your passions with great authenticity and courage. Do you want me to read about her cards? If you've been searching for an easy to use, fresh, modern, practical guide to the meanings of every tarot card, upright and reversed, I've got just the thing for you. Her book, The Ultimate Guide to Tarot Card Meanings, is a straightforward, relevant, and comprehensive guide to every tarot card, available in paperback and digital.
So let's pop over and look at the Queen of Wands. Hold on a second. Got a lot of things. Oh, here we go. Here we have the Queen of Wands.
Tarot loving friend. Today we're going to talk about the Queen of Wands tarot card. Today we're going over just this one card, but if you're new here and want to learn all of the tarot card meanings, hit the subscribe button right now and then click that little bell so you can stay in the loop when there are new tarot videos for you. The Queen of Wands tarot card shows a woman sitting on a throne, holding a wand in one hand and a sunflower in the other. There's a black cat in front of her. This queen is self-assured with lots of personal magnetism. She has explored and mastered the dark places of her soul, often shown as that black cat, and she has come out of there transformed. This card can represent an actual person in your life, a role you must play, or a message you need to hear. If this card is representing someone in your life, it will be a person, male or female, who is assertive and popular with overflowing confidence. Professionally, the queen will be in an executive position, probably the boss in some way. In the home realm, this is someone who is a gracious and easy host with a deep love for animals. Despite her comfort and ease, though, she's more of a lioness than a house cat. This queen has achieved self-knowledge and self-mastery. She easily balances a boundless creative energy with such radiant self-assurance that you can't help but be drawn in by her enthusiasm and her commitment. She's ambitious and powerful, but she doesn't hog the spotlight. When this card represents a role you must play or a message you are ready to hear, the Queen of Wands wants you to go for your own dreams and will help you commit big time to those passions and desires.
So we have in all the queens, but you're probably wondering, like, how do you take the queens and read them into a reading? And here we have Howcast is going to tell us how to read the 4 queens.
Okay.
This tarot moment from the School of Oracles. In this segment, we're going to take a brief overview of the 4 queens of the minor arcana court cards. All queens belong to the realm of Binah, the Great Mother. They all are subconscious cards, and because they are feminine, all of them are water. Water plus the element of their suit. The Queen of Wands, she's fire and water. So there's a built-in conflict as water and fire are inimical. But she is a fine woman. In fact, each of the queens is best at something, and she is the best witch in the deck because the fire gives passion and energy to the water, and water is the power of the subconscious, and so she can make things manifest. In fact, her key phrase is expectations manifest. When she's in her higher polarity, she's kind, generous, and capable. She's the best businesswoman in the deck. Look at her little black cat. That's not exactly like the lion in the strength card, but it might be reminiscent of it because she is strong. Her flowery crown has flowers, leaves coming out of the top. She's full of ideas. She and all the queens are the cardinal form of their element. The Queen of Wands belongs primarily to Aries, so she's 1/3 the last bit of Pisces and 2/3 Aries, and if you look below, you'll see the exact dates. You can use her as your significator, whether you are a man, a woman, or whatever age you are. Remember, expectations manifest, and what you expect, you get. Here's another hint. Since all the queens belong to the Binah, they have something in common with the 3s of their suit. And if you're at a loss for a meaning, check the corresponding 3 of the same suit and see. That's where I got the phrase expectations manifest, comes from the 3 of Wands. The Queen of Cups is water plus water, since all queens are water and all cups are...
Saying all the queens are the 3s in the cups? Like, so the 3 of cups would be the Queen of Cups, and then the 3 of Pentacles would be the... Is that what she just said?
That's what I thought, but then she started talking about the 3 of Cups when this is the Queen of Wands, so...
Yeah, no, she's talking about each of the... She's going to talk about all 4 of them, so she's saying that the 3 of every suit corresponds with the cup, with the queen. So the 3 of Cups, the 3 of Rods, the 3 of Swords, the 3 of... They all correspond. The 3s correspond with the queens.
That makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
So water, you can imagine that this makes her the best telepathic sender and receiver of all the queens. She's psychic, she's imaginative, she's beautiful. She looks at a cup and people wonder what is on that cup. Well, look carefully. There is no other cup like it in the deck. Those are not crab claws. Those are 2 angels on either side of the cup in profile. She sits at the water's edge, a very magical place for interacting with the imagination and psychic ability. When she's on her lower polarity, she may be colorless, and you wonder if there is a core there at all, and if she is just reflecting you back. Or she may have a closed channel. She is cardinal water, so she is 2/3 Cancer. For the exact date she covers, see below. The Queen of Swords, she always reminds me of a minor arcana version of the Justice card. She is cardinal air, and therefore her main sign, 2/3, is Libra. But you'll see the exact dates here below. She sits poised for action, and her key phrase is every action is a choice. And that includes thoughts as well as actions. We are who we have decided to make ourselves, who we believe ourselves to be. On the higher polarity, she makes just decisions. Look at what a clear thinker she is. Her head is drawn above the clouds, indicating clarity. And as the queen, water, and swords, air, she has use of all parts of the mind, both the conscious and the subconscious. When she is on her lower polarity, she can be very cold, and she is capable of using that sword to sever the head from the heart. The Queen of Pentacles is cardinal earth. Her key phrase is playing the hand you've been dealt. This woman can go further on less than anyone else in the deck, and she'll work her fingers to the bone for you if you're one of her brood. But she manages. Cardinal Earth is Capricorn, and they are hard-working. For the exact dates that she covers, see below.
So
When she's on
for each of your astrological signs, each of the queen cards represents that too. So if you were wanting to like pull a significant that's you could actually pull the one that's your birth date, is what she's saying.
Well, that's exciting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so in doing this, I also wondered, like, when you're doing the how to read them, what is the difference between the kings and the queens? And I found this, which I thought was really interesting. With everything that we watch, I do skip around or we don't read everything in its entirety, but I will put all the things that we view and read down in the show notes for the YouTube channel. And today we're coming to you on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. Hi, everyone. Be sure to give us a thumbs up wherever you're coming, wherever you're viewing us from. And just so you know, if it gets a little irritating, we're moving around a lot, but we only have like an hour to do this. And so I will put the link for everything. But here we have what's the difference between the king and the queens. And I think a lot of it has to do with what we kind of talked about in the very beginning. Like, I mean, it could be a little offensive if you're like, oh, well, this is just male and this is female. But I mean, this is in the representation of the masculine and the feminine. And we all know that everything kind of like bleeds into one another and there's no cut and dry. But for the sake of the tarot, what is the difference between the kings and the queens?
Mm-hmm.
What is your understanding of the differences?
My understanding is that the queens manifest, they work in the background, and the kings are the outward representation of what has happened.
Okay.
They're the show. They're the big show.
Yeah, the big show.
And the women are the producers.
Galacticness says, I've heard a good explanation that page relates to 1 to 3 of the suit, knights 4 to 6, queens 7 to 8, and kings 9 to 10 of the suit. So that's a little bit different than just the threes.
Yeah, that's interesting.
That is interesting. I would love to get a good tarot reader on one day.
I'm working on it. I have someone that not only does tarot, but does a lot with astrology, like the houses and yeah. So I'm working on it. She's quite a busy lady, so
Okay.
I don't know.
Well, it'll happen.
Yeah, we're gonna manifest that.
We are.
Hello, and welcome to Lionheart Dreaming. My name is Matthew, and today I have for you a bit of an educational video about the difference between the kings and queens in tarot card reading interpretation. So this is a kind of topic which I see a lot of people get confused about, or people who are new to the subject and learning about tarot, or even also people who have been doing it a while and are, offering their readings and interpretations publicly, like for example on this YouTube platform. Because a lot of people, it's just hard to tell the difference of it beyond just the most obvious surface level thing, which is the gender. Because both of the energies, king and queen, are representing the most mature form of that element, of that suit in the minor arcana. So wands is fire, and Swords is air, cups is water, and pentacles is earth. And I see like people doing readings, and then they will, you know, say like, oh, there's a lot of queens or something, and then you're like, oh, but it's not about the gender. Well, you know, what is it about then? So this is a question.
Huh.
How do they differ? How do you differentiate them? So my general rule of thumb for this is, I would say that the kings are more of internally focused version of that mastery. So it's more about control, containment, a strategy kind of way, strategic approach of processing that energy, whereas the queens are external, extroverted flow of that form of energy. So it's a bit of the more naturally like wild, chaotic, uncontained form of that energy. So like
So here we have the question, you know, what is the difference? And this person says, I was taught that the king is the master of a given element, a steward rather than a channel. And the queen is the embodiment of a given element. Channeling is rather than stewarding it. Forgive the old-fashioned gender roles implied by this.
Okay.
I think that I
Go ahead.
understand that a little bit better than what he's saying.
Oh, yeah, I like what that person wrote underneath it. So, like, I have the fire versus I am the fire.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, that's awesome. And that's a great support, I think.
And I think the thing is like, and then the person below is like, I respectfully object. I think that that's the whole thing about a good conversation is like, yes, I object, but why do you object? And then, okay, well, that makes sense. But then this you know, I just love good conversations about these things.
Yeah, I do too. And because no one really knows the right answer, it's
No,
all subjective.
it
So
is.
it's great to hear what other people have to say in a courteous way.
Absolutely. And now I've got to find my way back to where I was.
That's okay. While you're doing that, I'll just pipe up really quick that that final queen, the queen of wands in my deck, it is the queen of peppermills, and it is the cook that wants the more pepper in her soup or whatever she's making. And I think it's pretty awesome because she has on my card, she has the Cheshire cat with her instead of a little black cat.
I'm just really surprised that I can't just Google like the queens and get them up.
I
to
am
your
too, but
chat.
it is an older deck. I bought it back when we were still in the same city and hanging out. I think you and I went to Coldwater
Well, here's the
too.
Queen of Wands. Can you see that? Is
Yeah.
that the Queen of Wands?
For the most part, yes. Let me see.
There's the Queen of Wands. Oh, the Empress is pretty. Oh no, she's not. Sorry, I saw it from far away.
See, in that one, the Empress is the Duchess, but in mine, the Duchess is the Queen of.
Here's the Queen of Swords.
See, no, that's not my deck at all.
Oh, it's not? Oh, okay. Well, then this must be a different Allison.
It might be, yeah. That's okay.
There's so many tarot decks out there.
There are. Oh my goodness. You'll walk into any metaphysical store and they're going to have shelves of tarot. It's so hard to just pick one.
It is. I've been actually trying to go through deciding like which one I want. And then in doing that, I've kind of like started making my own in my head, like what I want to do for my own deck. And like, I can't find anything I want. So I want this and that. And I want a glow light looking deck that has like gold leaf on it. I'm going to have
my aunt just bought her first tarot deck today. She sent me a message. She was it was the radiant version of the Rider-Waite and it just, everything just looked really pretty and bright.
Did she buy it online or at a store?
She went to a store, and the lady like brought out 3 different decks that she told my aunt were all beginner decks, and my aunt was drawn to the one that she picked, and then the woman had her hold each one in her hands, and it was the one that she picked that she felt most drawn to. So
This was the Aquarian was the one my first deck that I ever had. The only one. I don't think I've ever had any other tarot deck than this one.
oh,
And
I
it was
also have a black cat one, but when I got it home, it was more, the cats were more peopleized than catized. So
I vaguely remember you buying that, actually.
yeah, it is fun. It's real cute. I like it, but it's just weird.
Are you thinking of getting any other ones?
Oh,
30 decks. Wow.
oh my goodness. I if I started using mine more, I might feel up to getting a new one. I have a friend that owns a metaphysical store here near me, and so I would, have no problem going to a store and getting a new deck. But I can't justify it because I don't use my decks as much as I should.
Yeah. Yeah. I just want one deck. But I have to decide what one. I'm pretty sure I'm going to get a glow light one. I really like the glow light ones that have been coming out.
Do you, that reader that you send me links to every now and then that always hits dead on?
The
Would you
Nordic
ever
light one?
the Nordic Fire?
light. Uh-huh.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Would you ever consider getting one of her decks? They're
Yeah,
beautiful.
she has one. She had hers aren't really tarot though. It's like just pull a card kind of deck that she has.
Okay, sure.
But I want more of a tarot type thing, not just pull a card type of deck. But she just got done. I did she's going to do it again, but in November, she did this thing where she let so many people in and she prayed for us for like 2 weeks with her guides and did this healing. And she's going to do it again in January. It was really intense. And I got really sick too. And
Oh
she
my
said,
goodness.
like sometimes like when you're really releasing stuff, you get sick. And like yesterday was the ending of it. And today I feel almost better. It's weird. It's weird.
That is weird.
Yeah.
I was going to say, let me know when she does it in January. I'd like to get in on that, but now I'm not so sure.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't want to be sick for 2 weeks.
So, but it must have been some powerful stuff and then I felt horrible because I'm like, oh, she must have had like she did it for like 2 weeks. And I'm like, she must have had a horrible 2 weeks. And then she sent out this thing and she was like, it was an almost blissful 2 weeks. And I was like, oh well, she transformed it then.
Good for her.
Yeah.
She's amazing though. I wish we could get her on the show.
Yeah. Well, she actually doesn't do individual readings. She just does them for the group reading type thing. And yeah, so Nordic Light is the name of the tarot. Let me see if I can pull her up while we're talking.
Well, and even if she didn't actually do, like an individual reading, she does have mastery of the cards. It's just, she knows so much.
She has a narcissistic mother, and she just really understands things. I don't know how she does it either. And I have never quite figured out this pick a deck reading type how or why it works. But this is the page that we're talking about. It's called the Nordic Light. And she does these, there's 3 card readings and you just pick which one that you're drawn to. And for some reason they match. I don't know how she does it.
Yeah, it's weird. And I can absolutely, when I listen to all of them generally, just because I'm curious, but I can usually pick out which one Chad would pick, my live-in boyfriend.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I can usually pick out which one I think he would pick, and it always applies to him, like it completely. And so then I'll send it to him. I'm like, pick one, and he always picks the one I think he's gonna pick, and
Yeah.
then I'm like, okay, yeah, you need to read this.
And usually if I like more than one, I'll pick the one that I like that's further down. Like if I like 1 and 3, I'll listen to 3 first, because usually in 3 she'll be like, and listen to 1.
Yes,
It's weird. It's like,
it is
and
weird.
I've gone and listened, and she doesn't say that in every reading. She doesn't
No.
say like in 3, she won't always say go to 2, or you know what I mean? She doesn't always do that. It just happens.
Yes, and it's usually correct.
Yes.
It's weird. It's a little creepy, but it's awesome creepy. I
Yeah.
don't know. She just has a gift.
She
She is
does have a
amazing.
gift, and she also had, like, when I first found her, she had she had memberships, and she was like the first channel that I ever was like, yeah, I'm gonna become a member here, and I joined, and then she was like, I've been praying on it and meditating on it. Want to do memberships anymore. She says, I don't want to make anyone feel like they're not welcome. And so that's always stuck in me too. Like I always feel like that. I don't want to exclude anybody. So it makes me like, but I just really like what she stands for.
Yes, I do too.
So, and her name is Angel, and she changed her name. She named herself, which I like that too.
That is cool. Yeah, and she's from Sweden, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Sweden.
Yeah. She's awesome. Although I have noticed that unless you send them to me, they don't really apply to me. Like I've tried to go on her page and just be like, here's a new reading today. And really none of them really apply to me. And I'm like, it's because Amy didn't send it to me and say, look at this woman.
That's funny.
Yeah.
I send her to a few people too. I wonder if that's only happening with the people, like if that's true with the other people I send them to.
That would be interesting to know. Yeah.
That would be interesting. Well, this is all I have for the tarot tonight. Did you have anything else that you wanted to add?
No. I could add just a little story. This really, it's about identifying with tarot cards.
Okay.
I used to hang around with a small group of pagans about 15 years ago or so. And one year for Samhain, the people whose home we used to meet at, they had a big property back, a lot of trees in their backyard, and they have this little fairy grove almost. It was really cool. And so what she did was she put an altar for Samhain in the fairy grove, and had candles all over. And then in the entrance to the fairy grove, she had a trellis put up, and she made copies of every single tarot card from the basic Rider-Waite deck, and they were turned over like face down on the trellis. And so before we entered, we had to pick one. Well, that year I was really just starting to come into my paganness, I guess. And so I got the high priestess, and she had told me, this card, whatever card you pick, is going to represent you in the next coming year. And it did. And it's still to this day, anytime someone does a reading of me, the high priestess comes up, and I'm like, oh, that's me.
I was the high priestess in college. We all represented. I had a group of friends, and we all represented we chose the major arcana, and I was the high priestess in that group.
That's cool. Well,
but I was
that's
also
why we're
virgin.
friends.
What?
I said that's why we're friends.
Yeah, probably. Well, how long ago was that? How many years ago was that?
I would say that was probably about 15, 16 years ago.
Oh, you're still representing.
I'm still representing, yeah. She means a lot to me.
That's awesome.
I still have the little copy of the card that she had put on the trellis too. I saved
Aw.
that.
Hmm. Now I really want to. I now I want a new deck. I just do. I've been
Well, go
wanting
get
them for a
one.
while. I'm going to. I just. I even was looking at them and I couldn't decide. I was like trying to decide like what I wanted, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to get one of the like glow light, black light looking ones. Um,
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, hey, before I forget too, I just want to say congratulations to Heavenly. Heavenly's one of our mods and her husband. I think she said they're celebrating 14-year wedding anniversary tonight. So
Oh,
congratulations.
congratulations.
We have Heavenly, Chris C, and Laura Lynn as moderators. I don't think Laura Lynn's in here tonight, but I've seen Chris C and Heavenly. And so we have the best mods out there. Thank you, ladies, for being here. And congratulations, Heavenly.
Yes, congratulations. That's awesome.
14 years is nothing to sneeze at.
No, no. I haven't made it that long in either of my marriages. To be fair, the second one was cut short by his death. So,
Yeah. Well,
but I might not have made it that long anyways because he was like 71. So,
Oh, he was a lot older than you then, wasn't he?
yeah, he was 25 years older than me.
You were like married to a boomer. You were married to a boomer.
Yes, I was married to a boomer, but he was quite liberal for a boomer.
That's good.
He tried his hardest.
They do, bless their hearts. I love myself some boomers. I really do. I think because our parents and grandparents, like they're all boomers, and I think we can vibe with boomers really well around
Oh
here.
yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely.
Well, that's really all I have for tonight. It wasn't what I was expecting, or I would have had more. But
we did good. We did good.
We did do good. And next week we're going to do even better because I had never heard of this Wildwood Asylum. Have you heard of Wildwood?
No, I haven't. And I looked it up earlier today.
Uh-huh.
Before I knew it was getting canceled. And
it's popular.
Yeah. Like, I'm excited to learn more about it because you're right. I haven't heard of it either.
A lot of groups have gone to it. There's a lot of videos on YouTube. There's a lot of paranormal TV shows that have gone to it. So yeah, I'm really excited about next week. So we do have the owners of Wildwood Asylum in New York that will be joining us.
Cool. That's neat. And we get an extra week to prepare. So that's even better.
Yes. Do you have anything else, Shannon?
No, I'm good. Actually, I'm currently looking at a plate of lasagna that got placed next to me.
Yum, yum.
Right?
Okay, well, tell Chad I said hi, and where's my lasagna? I mean,
he's laughing.
Me too.
Oh, my Chad is a queen. He's a nurturer.
I love that your Chad takes care of you.
Yes.
I laughed the other day because Gypsy Rose has this stupid thing where she's talking about she's making fun of somebody and she doesn't realize how stupid she's being, but she's like, you don't have a Chad and I do. And I was like, oh my gosh, Shannon's got a Chad.
I do got a Chad.
You got a
and Chad. He's the best Chad out there.
Well, you go eat your lasagna with your Chad, and I'll see you next week when we'll talk about Wildwood.
Sounds fantastic. I'll see you next week. Goodbye, everyone.
Bye. Okay, guys, be sure to give this live a thumbs up. Thanks, everyone, for being here. Thank you to my moderators, Heavenly and Chris C. Heavenly, I hope you have an enjoyable. You had an enjoyable honeymoon. Would have been a honeymoon like 14 years ago, wouldn't it? I wonder where you went on your honeymoon. Did you go anywhere exciting? Did you go anywhere fun? Where did I go? When I went on my honeymoon, I went to Hollywood. That's where we went on my honeymoon. Well, anyway, I hope you had a great day. I hope everyone had a great weekend. And if nobody's told you this recently, and even if they have, I'm still going to tell you this. I love you guys. Oh, you went to Disney. Woo-hoo! How fun is that? Well, if nobody's told you this, and even if they have, I'm still going to tell you this. I love you guys so, so much, and I'll see you next time. Bye, guys. Hi, guys. Welcome to Para Women Radio. I'm Amy.
Carefully strumming this old guitar, words rolling out into the fire. Never ask why my heart burned blue. Here in the haze where you inspire me. Here in the darkness I hear my cue. Time to find some solitude. Here where my soul bleeds openly, deep in the heart of sin and you. Here in the blue, I'm falling deep into you. Here in the blue, I'm dancing with you tonight, and it feels fine. Carefully strumming this old guitar again, words rolling out